Day 3 of the NFL Draft has come to an end. 7 hours later, we finally have the newest members of the Dallas Cowboys. I still have my robe on from sitting on the couch. Let's get into the video. Before we start, please remember this. Every pick after about 125 to 150 is a complete unknown. A question mark. The likelihood of hitting on one of these guys is just so slim, and if you get any real contribution from a guy on day 3, that's a win. So that's how we need to look at these selections. There are no bad day 3 picks. On day 3, the recipe for success, in my opinion, is premium positions with athletic traits. That's something that I can get excited about. So after sitting on their hands for nearly 100 picks, the Cowboys selected at number 174, and that was Wake Forest corner Kalen Carson. Carson is a physical corner that has the tenacity to play on the outside in the NFL. He's a fluid mover that can flip his hips and run. He's also pretty quick twitch to pull the trigger and move downhill. He might be a better zone cover corner, but you have to wonder if playing under Mike Zimmer, he'll get more opportunities to play press on the outside. But the number one thing with Carson is he likes to play physical. He likes to tackle. He enjoys getting in there and mixing it up in the run game. And for me, I love that. He also likes to play very physical on the outside in cover situations, which can sometimes be at a detriment, him holding and causing defensive pass interferences. For Carson, it's going to be about learning to play on the edge of aggression and discipline, playing the ball, not the receiver. There are also a couple questions about his athletic ability. Is he fast enough in the NFL to make up for missteps? Mike Zimmer and Al Harris are known to be DB whisperers, and I have a feeling we might be seeing a little bit of Kalen Carson in 2024. Overall, I like the mentality that you got on the outside, and I like the value. A lot of people had Carson as a potential 3rd or 4th round pick. He even managed to make it into some people's top 10 corner rankings. So to get a corner and a potential 3rd round player in the 5th round, that's a win for me. So let's head to round 6, where the Cowboys selected Southeast Missouri State wide receiver Ryan Flournoy. And off the bat, the tools with this guy are off the charts. He has the prototypical wide receiver frame that you like to see at 6 foot 202 pounds. His athletic score is an eye-popping 9.88. What did I say at the beginning of this video? What do we like to do in the later rounds? Tools, traits, athletic ability. This guy has some physical upside. He was a great playmaker in college. He has the flexibility to play inside or outside, and I thought he had a solid Senior Bowl. He flashed at times with the route running and contested catch ability. He does come from a smaller school, so he's not as well known as potentially other names like Brendan Rice, who was sitting on the board. But with Flournoy, I think you can look forward to a steady wide receiver. Based on his college production, he's a consistent guy. He'll likely flash at times and make tough catches, but he'll also make the easy plays. He's someone that will benefit from Oxnard during training camp because of how steady he should be from day to day. I can respect taking a really good athlete in round 6, especially at a position that you aren't really in dire need of right now, but someone you could potentially use as a developmental piece in 2025. Another pick that I really like. Now, round 7 is where we see our 3rd offensive lineman of the draft, Louisiana Lafayette offensive lineman Nathan Thomas. The Cowboys got Thomas at number 233 in the draft. I believe it was Daniel Jeremiah who had Thomas as a 4th round prospect. And for a player in the 7th round, honestly, the traits, the length, and how he plays in the run game, I see a 4th round player as well. Standing at 6'5", 323 pounds, he is already one of the biggest players on this Cowboys offensive line. What you like to see is the position flexibility, and I think that's why the Cowboys had interest in the 7th round in Nathan Thomas. While he did play tackle at Louisiana Lafayette, I think the Cowboys are going to want to use him at guard. I'm not saying that he's going to be your starting offensive lineman for the next 10 years, but if the Cowboys feel like he can play right guard, maybe they're thinking as a potential Zach Martin replacement, because as we see right now, the Cowboys are really going through an offensive rebuild. Cooper Beebe at center, Tyler Guyton at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, and Zach Martin in the last year of his contract. We're really flipping the page on this offensive line, and Nathan Thomas feels like another piece to that puzzle. Once again, There's no bad picks in the 7th round. Thomas had a relative athletic score of 7.49. He had good speed, good agility, good explosion, and an overall good size grade as well. No bad picks. I like the Nathan Thomas pick. Now let's continue to the Cowboys' last pick of this draft, where they selected defensive tackle Justin Rogers from Auburn. A big body that projects as a one technique on this team. And I know going into this draft, a lot of people were screaming for them to address the defensive tackle position with a guy like T'Vondre Sweat. Let me say, I can't remember who it was. They reached on T'Vondre Sweat, and the Cowboys didn't even have a chance to take him in the 2nd round. But the Cowboys are very, very void of talent on the interior of that defensive line. You really only have Mozzie Smith as your one technique. You have Osa Odigizua as your 3. But outside of that, you're looking at like Carl Davis. So it was worth the Cowboys throwing a body at, a big body like Justin Rogers. Now, I won't lie. I'm glad that the Cowboys decided to address defensive tackle. I don't really love this selection. You guys thought I was going to be a homer and tell you that I loved every single pick that the Cowboys had. I did. I liked a majority of them. I liked some more than others, but he doesn't really do either thing that you're looking for very well at all. Rogers had below a 5% pass rush win rate and run stop win rate. I need to go back and look at what other bodies were potentially available as a one technique in this draft. But once again, you can't hate on a 7th round pick. I'm glad that the Cowboys knew that was a position of need and drafted one in Justin Rogers. Now, before this video ends, I have to say, I'm really bummed out that we got to this point and we didn't get a running back in this draft. It's really the only position that they didn't at least throw a pick at that we knew coming into the draft was a need. If Ezekiel Elliott was holding this team back from taking a running back in this draft, I think you're in deep shit. I know the run on running backs went in about the middle of the 4th round, early 5th round, even some guys waiting until the 6th. But the Cowboys really didn't show any interest outside of Jerry Jones just kind of talking about how much you like Jonathan Brooks. Overall, though, I think that this draft just screamed physicality and value. They went with the best players available in most situations. They went for high-end position groups like corner, wide receiver, offensive line, and I can't be mad at that. Yes, I would have liked a running back, but that position still has time to shake out all the way up until September when other teams are cutting down their rosters. So I'm not completely bummed just yet. Now, tomorrow I will be breaking down the entirety of the Dallas Cowboys draft class and giving this group a complete letter grade. So please make sure you don't miss out on that and you are subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Actually, tomorrow. Bye.